The rest of the night after I talked to Dipper went by rather quick. Usually does when you're tired. I woke up the next morning to see my dad passed out in a chair and Dipper sleeping in the chair beside me. I have to admit, something Dipper said to me before I fell asleep made me smile. I wanted to believe what I had heard him say, but it was late, and I could have been dreaming. Breakfast came while I was thinking about it. Pancakes and hash browns it looked like. I must not have been the only one hungry, though, because I heard Dipper beside me.
Do I smell pancakes?
Nothing gets past you, does it, Dipper? Want some?
No, I can get something downstairs. You need to eat, Bobby.
Okay. I ate my breakfast rather slowly. It was really hard not to move around too much, and I had to be careful not to hurt myself. As I was finishing up the juice that came with it, I heard my dad wake up as well.
Good morning, you two. Finally eating again, huh, Bobby?
Yep. These pancakes aren't very good, though.
Well, eat them anyway. You need the strength. Aren't you supposed to be leaving today?
I nodded and finished eating my food. At that point, a nurse came by to tell me that they were going to replace my bandages around noon or so. I saw Dipper smile when she said that. I thanked her before she left and turned my attention back to Dipper. Dipper, can I ask you about something?
Sure, Bobby. Anything.
What did we talk about when I woke up hearing you call my name last night? Dipper sighed and looked over at my dad before answering.
I said that I loved you.
You loved me? Then I wasn't dreaming.
No, it wasn't a dream. I finally got the courage to say it, Bobby. I love you.
I sat there for several moments, stunned. I'd been waiting months to hear him say it. Now that he finally had, I didn't know what else to say except, Dipper, I love you too.
Yeah, I know you do, Bobby, and I'm sorry I made you wait so long to hear me say it. Why it took me so long, I guess I'll never really know.
Therapy is a very effective tool, Dipper.
Dipper gave my dad a startled look.
You were using therapy on me?
Well, it worked, didn't it? You feel better now, don't you?
Well, yeah, but still.
I had to resist the urge to start laughing. My dad can be really sneaky sometimes, and apparently even Dipper isn't immune to it. In any case, I want to thank you for staying here with me all weekend.
Oh, come on, Bobby. You're more than just my best friend. How can I leave you when you were hurt? I almost didn't go to the concert because of it.
Speaking of not going places, it's Monday, Dipper. You missed school.
One day won't matter. Besides, I want to bring you triumphantly back into the classroom on Tuesday in a victory chariot.
Leave it to Dipper to make the worst of situations funny. It did make me smile, though. I spent the next few hours talking with Dipper. Dad eventually left the room again to get some food, telling Dipper to join him when he got hungry. I was actually glad, though, that Dipper stayed behind, because there was one other thing I had to be sure of. I turned to Dipper with a smile on my face.
What is it, Bobby?
You kissed me before you left for that concert, Dipper. I know you did. Dipper got up out of his chair and leaned over the bed, kissing me on the forehead.
You mean like that?
I couldn't help it. I blushed a bit when he did it. A part of me was glad that my dad wasn't in the room. While we were talking, I heard another nurse enter the room. She walked over to me, confirming again that I was being checked out today, before she removed the IV in my arm, covering it with another bandage. Something told me that Dipper was glad to see it was gone. They told me I was going to get lunch, and directly following that, they were going to fix my bandages and I'd be sent home. She then told me I'd have to have Dipper leave, though, because they needed me to rest a bit beforehand. I looked at Dipper, mouthing, I love you, before he left.
I blushed a bit when I read Bobby's lips. I'm not afraid to say it to him or in front of his dad. It might take me a while to say it in front of anyone else, though. They might not understand. I left the room and joined Mr. Thornbody for lunch. I didn't get much. I wanted to save room for dinner. We were going to a Mexican restaurant, and I really like enchiladas. I then went out to the lobby where they said they would be bringing Bobby out. I was only there an hour when my cell phone rang. I had to look to see who it was. I didn't recognize the phone number, but I had a feeling. Hello?
Dipper, baby. How are ya?
Doing quite well now, Mr. Marley. I'm glad you called.
I told you before, baby. Call me Jason.
Look, Mr. Marley, I have considered your offer, but I'm going to have to turn you down. I would much rather stay exactly where I am.
Dipper, baby, what about your solo career?
If I end up with a solo career, it will be with Lester Crowley, not with a man who has been anything but honest with me.
Dipper, baby, I haven't lied to you once.
You know what? You're right. You haven't lied to me once. You lied to me over and over and over. See, I had a talk with a former client of yours. You may remember the name, Justin Beaver. We had a nice long talk about you.
Baby, listen. That Beaver tried to ruin me, spreading lies that it got him on drugs and that it kept him from getting his money. None of it's true.
That's not what his security guard says. Nor any of the newspaper articles he showed me about Whitney Austin and White Lightning and, John Campwell. All of them had problems with drugs. All of the articles mentioned you by name, and I seem to recall you letting Bobby and I have a drink if we wanted one, too.
Dipper baby, look. First off, that uptight snow leopard Reggie's an idiot. Giving up his job as a lawyer to protect Justin seems a little odd to me.
Mr. Marley, I never said his security guard was a snow leopard, nor what his name was. How is it you know so much about him if you supposedly have had nothing to do with him for years? You're the one that seems odd to me.
Dipper baby, you've got it wrong. Besides, it sounds like you're being brainwashed again. I thought you said you were responsible enough to make your own choices. This sounds like your uncles are making it for you.
I never once said one word about this to either of my uncles. I'm making my own responsible decisions here, Mr. Marley, and the answer is no.
What about your protection, baby? You need to be protected from liars like your uncles. They're holding you back, baby. They really are.
I got all the protection I need right here. Bobby Thornbody was there when I talked to you, remember? He heard every word you said. He warned me about you, and I didn't listen at first. Well, he went to all the trouble of contacting Justin and as a result ended up in the hospital for his efforts. If you think for 1 minute I'm going to turn my back on protection like that, you're crazy. Goodbye, Mr. Marley. At that moment I saw Bobby being wheeled up in the wheelchair. He was dressed again and smiled when he saw me. The nurse, though, walked over to me after getting Bobby settled, telling me not to be so loud and reminded me where I am. Sorry, I'll be turning off my cell phone now. I don't want to talk to him again.
Dipper, I heard what you said. I was just worried about you, that was all.
No, it was more than that, Bobby. Admit it.
I'm just glad you told him off.
Me too. Makes me feel better to speak what's on my mind.
Once my dad had picked up my medication from the pharmacy, he took Dipper and I out to the car. The back seat was wide enough for me to sit there and talk to Dipper without too much discomfort. We talked as my dad drove us to a Mexican restaurant that was nearby. The doctor said I could eat what I wanted as long as I was slow, and I had a craving for my favorite food. We got inside and seated, getting a few drinks. Once we ordered, my dad spoke.
Feeling better now that you got it out, Dipper?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Dad, thanks.
I was just doing my job, son. I'm your father. Dipper needed advice. I didn't do anything more.
All I needed was reassurance that it would be okay is all.
The food came rather quickly after that. Dipper got enchiladas. Honestly, I didn't even know he liked them. Dad and I both got a large nacho platter. Dad ate his really quick, but I ate slowly, not wanting to strain myself. Eventually, my dad took us home. I was rather surprised to see most of Dipper's family waiting on our front porch when we arrived. Wow, big welcome.
Thanks for showing up, Mom, Dad. Hey, Birch, do you think maybe we could have a wheelchair race sometime between Dad and Bobby?
Only if Dan and I get a head start.
Deal. Name the time and place, and you're on. I was glad to be back home. Yeah, they were nice to me in the hospital, but there's something about returning home that always brings a sense of comfort that you can't get anywhere else, no matter how nice. The evening went on, and I was surprised when Dipper's mom said he could stay with me one more night. Dipper ran home briefly to get his PJs and met me in my room half an hour later. Dipper, I wanted to say thank you for everything. Friend or otherwise, the fact you stayed with me, it really helped.
No, Bobby, I need to thank you. I almost made a horrible mistake, and you risked your life to stop me. You also helped me to say what I really should have said months ago. The rest of the world may see us as friends, but I know you are something more. I love you, Bobby, and I'm not afraid to say it anymore.
Thank you for loving me. It may have taken an accident. It may have taken dealing with Mr. Marley, but Dipper finally admitted his feelings. And I honestly have to say that I wasn't surprised with the fact he did say it, just with the fact it took him so long to realize it himself. He was lost in so many different ways, out in the darkness with no guide. I know the cost of a losing hand, ever for the grace of God go I found heaven on earth. You are my last, my first, and then I hear this voice inside.
I've been alone when I'm surrounded by friends. How could let the silence be so loud. But still I go home, knowing that I've got you. There's only us when the lights go down. You are my heaven on earth. You are my hunger, my thirst. I always hear this voice inside saying Ave Maria. Sometimes life can come and pass you by while you're busy making plans. Suddenly hit you and then you realize it's out of your hands. Mommy, you got to understand, you are my heaven on earth. You are my last